Oh my god, Lynn, I can't believe you just did that. How can you be so horrible?
I'm the one who's horrible? Have you looked in the mirror lately, homewrecker?
For the last time, I'm not a homewrecker. And yeah, you're the horrible one considering you just decided to try and have a go at me during my husband's funeral. I mean, even on such a sad and emotional day where we should be remembering a wonderful man, you'd rather yell and scream about his will and who gets his money? If there is anyone who is cold-hearted and just downright nasty, it's you.
Says the woman who stole my husband away from me. We were happy before you came along. Then you just had to steal his attention and take him for yourself. You didn't care if you were destroying a family. As long as you got your hands on Andrew, you were happy. And don't think I don't know why you were so desperate to be with him. I know you were just after his money. And how convenient that, now that he's gone, you'll be able to have all of his wealth to yourself. Or at least, that's what you think.
I don't know where you get off accusing me like this, but it's not true in the slightest. I loved Andrew with all of my heart and he loved me too. I wasn't interested in his money. He could have been broke and I still would have loved him. You were the one who was obsessed with his money. It was the main reason he left you. You were never happy with him and what he did for you, always wanting him to spend more or take you to more lavish places. He got sick and tired of never being able to live up to your expectations and your constant demands. That's why he left you. I didn't meet him until he had actually separated from you.
We were still technically married. He had literally only been separated for like a month.
He had no plans on getting back together with you. I'm sorry, but it's true. We fell in love shortly after we met. But I wouldn't have gotten involved with him if he had still been in a relationship. But he had ended that relationship with you.
Only because you got in the way. We would have gotten back together if you hadn't been there. And as for the money, you don't deserve anything. It's a good job that his will still leaves everything to me.
Don't you hear yourself? Only interested in his will. And it doesn't even matter. I've seen his will before, when he was rewriting it, and it didn't mention you.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
What do you mean?
I know my husband, and he wouldn't have left me with nothing. In fact, I know he's left me pretty much everything in his will, as we wrote it together, and that includes the house, which leads me to this. I want you to move out of my house by the end of the day.
Excuse you?
My house. I want you to move out. It's only fair. You took my husband from me, so I have the house. It's what I'm owed for the heartache that both he and you put me through.
Hang on. You already got half of everything that he had in the divorce. You're not owed anything else, especially not the house. Andrew and I built our life up there. It was our home. Nothing to do with you.
It doesn't matter. It's mine now, and I want to move into it as soon as possible. I've always thought that it was a nice place to live.
You can't do this.
I can, actually. The will leaves everything to me.
I'll be having a talk with the attorney to see about that.
Feel free to do that. You'll only be disappointed.
Pierce, have you had time to have a look at Andrew's will properly? It's just, I think Lynn and her attorney are trying to do something. I don't know, not quite right. It just seems quite fishy.
Hey Haley, I'm so sorry for your loss, and I want you to know that I'm here for you, okay?
Thanks, Pierce.
As for the will, it all seems in order. I'm sorry to say, however, there is one little discrepancy that I'm currently still looking into, so I'll have to get back to you on that. Hopefully it won't take too long, maybe a day or so, but because the will is still in contention, it should be okay. Lynn won't be able to access it until all of this is cleared up.
That's good. I just can't believe it's come to this, though. I was sure that the will Andrew made had left nothing to Lynn. I don't care if it goes to me or not. He could have left all of his money to a charity and I wouldn't care. I just don't want it to go to that horrible, money-grabbling ex of his.
Don't worry, I'm looking into this as thoroughly as I can. There's just something that's not quite right about this whole thing, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. You can count on that.
What do you think is so weird about the will?
Well, it's the way it's worded. It all seems a bit too good to be true. Too much like a professional has done it. I mean, I know attorneys write up people's wills all the time, but They don't usually put in a bunch of fancy words and stuff for no reason, but this one has all of that. It's almost like whoever wrote this did it subconsciously, meaning that they wrote like this every day. Only people like me, attorneys, really do that.
What? So you're saying that Lynn's attorney might have tampered with the will? Or even forged a new one?
It's possible.
Well, come to think of it, when I saw the will, I thought that the signature on the bottom of it looked quite strange. It didn't look quite like Andrew's. I just couldn't be sure as it had a lot of similarities to his usual signature. I just thought that perhaps he had done it quickly because he might have been rushing or something.
His signature? I'll have to have a look at that.
Thank you for doing this, Pierce. I can't believe that I'm having to try and sort all of this out when my husband's only just passed away. All I want to do is take the time to mourn properly, but Lynn just isn't letting me do that.
I'm sorry. Hopefully we can get this all sorted out soon and you'll be able to put her out of your mind and life.
Hopefully.
I'll message you if I find anything suspicious.
Okay, thanks.
Oi, Haley. I hope you're not getting too comfortable. You might have stopped me from taking the house for now, but that's not going to last long. Once the judge sees the will, he'll rule in my favor, and then you're out of there.
Why are you so horrible, Lynn? I mean, was it not enough that you drove your husband away? Now you've got to bother me and make an already difficult time even worse?
Oh, don't pretend to be upset. We both know you only got together with Andrew for the money. I mean, I did the same thing. Only he decided that he wanted to go and leave me to be with you. But if you think for 1 second that I'm just going to sit back and watch you take all of the money that I deserve, then you're sadly mistaken.
You might have only been with Andrew for his money, but that's not true for me. I loved him, and I'm going to make sure that none of his belongings or money go to you. He wouldn't have wanted that to happen.
You can try whatever you like. Nothing's going to change the fact that I'm going to win, and you're going to end up penniless on the streets.
I wouldn't get so cocky if I were you. Things might not go how you want them to.
What do you mean? Haley, tell me what you mean right now.
You'll see.
Haley, I swear, answer your phone right now. You gold-digging she-devil. How dare you?
Oh, hello, Lynn.
Don't give me that. How dare you steal my money?
Well, as the judge ruled, it isn't your money.
Yes, it is. The documents you showed him were fakes. You don't deserve the money. It's mine. So give it to me, now.
The documents that I gave the judge weren't fakes at all. Actually, you know that they weren't, as the documents you provided were fakes.
I don't know what you're on about.
Actually, you do. I knew that you were up to something as soon as I saw that phony will. I must admit, it was very well written. It almost had my attorney fooled. But there was just one thing that made it quite obvious that it was fake.
Well, what was that then? Not that I'm admitting to anything, but if something was wrong with the will, what was it?
You're so obvious it's actually painful to watch. If you must know, it was the signature.
What? The signature was perfect. I know it was.
Actually, it was almost perfect. But I know my husband's handwriting. I mean, I lived with him for over 20 years. I've signed many cards, papers, and little love notes with him. So if I wasn't able to notice the subtle differences with the signature, I'd be ashamed of myself.
But
once I pointed that out, Pierce went over all the old documents that Andrew had once signed and checked all of the signatures. Sure enough, there were subtle differences which proved that the signature was false.
well, that can't be right. My attorney made sure everything was in order.
Yeah, about that. Once we discovered that your version of the will was fake, Pierce decided to look into that attorney of yours. Turns out, he has a pretty impressive track record.
What do you mean?
Well, apparently, for the last few years, your attorney has come into a lot of money. Coincidentally, it has all come from the families who he has done the wills for. After a little bit of digging, We found out that he has been forging wills for people in exchange for a percentage of the inheritance.
Oh, no. Well, I never knew that. If I had, I never would have hired him.
Uh-huh. Sure you wouldn't. But there's nothing to worry about now. He has been arrested for forgery and is looking at a little bit of jail time. The police are just looking into those who helped him now. Hopefully, they'll be brought to justice soon.
What? But surely they don't actually have any idea about who could have been involved, right?
After they have a look through all the wills he's worked on in the last few years, they will know exactly who he worked with. So it looks like your time is running out, Lynn.
Oh, you witch. I haven't done anything wrong. I deserve that money, not you. I was his wife first. You're just some horrible homewrecker.
And you're a vile shrew. Thankfully, you'll be getting what you deserve soon enough.
I hate you. What have you even done with the money? You don't even need it.
I've kept a little for myself to help tide me over, but the majority I've given to different charities. They need it more than I do.
Ugh, why would you do that? If you didn't want the money anyway, why not just give it to me? You're so selfish.
Actually, I think you'll find that giving to charity is the opposite of selfish, not that you would know.
Just you wait. I'll get you back.
I don't think you can do that from jail. Anyway, I've got things to do now. Goodbye, Lynn. Good luck in jail.
Stop saying that. I'm not going to jail. Haley.
Just like I had thought, Lynn was found to have tampered with Andrew's will along with her attorney. This is a major crime, and she was sent to prison for a few months and forced to pay a hefty fine. I was finally able to mourn my husband properly once all of the drama had been sorted. And whilst I missed him every day, I'm happy in the knowledge that his money was put to good use and not given to someone as horrible and selfish as his ex-wife. Treasure those that you love, and remember it's the time you spend with them that is important, not any money or inheritance that you might get once they're gone.